Hey again, it's me doing another commentary for another match that I'm not a participant in. This one is between the Viridian City Volcaronas and the Puzzle City Pikipeks, I believe. Yeah, something like that. So, Greg versus Jake. Yeah, that's who it is. So, yeah, another commentary that didn't get fulfilled. Huh, guys? I wonder what that's all about. Wonder what that's all about. So we got a Pokemon trainer White, who is indeed white. And he sends out Tyrannosofar, the Tyranitar. It's a clever name, see? And Dastardly, the big old spider monster. So not the most ideal matchup for either of them, actually. Stone's not good for the Araquanid, so that Stone Edge is going to hurt a little bit. Focus Sash keeps him alive, and then a big old fat Liquidation gonna come out the opposite direction. And Tyranitar does not have a Focus Sash, so he dies. First turn, interesting. And then Dastardly gets buffeted by the Sandstorm. Everybody's dead. So first turn was just kind of a trade of lives. And we get Nas, Dot, and Billows. So a Landorus versus a Necrozma. Battle of Legends. And everybody's sitting in the sand, and Billows U-turns, which is understandable. Does a nice chunk of damage and gets him away from taking presumably a Photon Geyser. And in comes Mastermind, the very blue clam. Photon Geyser! Photon Geyser is enough to trigger yet another Focus Sash on the side of the Volcaronas. And then the Sandstorm takes him out. That's 2 killed by the Sandstorm, so Tyrannosofar has done no attacks. Well, it has done 1 attack, but it wasn't enough to pick up a kill. But he's got 2 KOs so far, thanks to his Sandstorm setup. And in comes Meltilda, the big old pile of sludge, who is a very powerful and scary Pokemon. He's going to get an Intimidate drop from the Salamence. It's understandable, you don't want that thing hitting as hard as it possibly can. And a big old fat knockoff, which does a fat chunk of damage and knocks off leftovers. So more Sandstorm damage all over the place. And Meltilda switches out because it does not like that -1 attack. And Hal 9000 makes an appearance to get Earthquake directly into the face. This is going to hurt enough to completely KO. So this has been a match of pretty much OKOs all over the place. We got what, 3? Well, 4 would be. 2 of them were stopped by Focus Sashes. And Billows comes in to Intimidate, which makes sense, since yeah, it's gonna hit pretty hard. And an Aqua Tail comes out, whap. Nice chunk of damage, but that -1 does help keep him alive. And Hidden Power, presumably Hidden Power Ice, is enough to pick up that KO. So now that's another one that bites the dust. Sand, since it's a sandstorm, you know. Soul Stealer makes its appearance. The not shiny this week Soul Stealer, maybe it's wearing its away jersey. And takes a big old U-turn to the face for almost no damage. And back goes Billows once again. And Hadouken! Makes an appearance. Previous season he was Monkey King Enma, which I get that reference now because I've watched some Naruto. Hehe. But yeah. Still, Soul Stealer is now back at full health. And he's going to take a big old Flare Blitz to the face. And that's going to do a whole lot of damage. And Hadouken is also going to take a whole lot of damage in return. And then a Leech Seed, which is less than ideal, since Hadouken is already at low health. Don't want him losing any more. And big old Slurp to steal some of his health. And give it right back to the big old Bamboo Shoot Steel monster from another dimension. And he protects, which is good old stall tactic. No Flare Blitz from the Hadouken. Will not hit. And he gets his leftovers heals. And then he sucks that health out of Hadouken, who now has 10 health. Very low, but he doesn't, you know, Soul Stealer retreats from battle for Reaper to come in, which is shiny. And he's going to take this Flare Blitz, and he's not really going to care all that much, because, yeah, it's not that great against him. Good chunk of damage, but not enough, and Hadouken does fall. Sorry, Monkey King. You did. And Meltilda makes a triumphant return, and isn't really too scared, because Reaper is slow as balls. So Reaper switches out for Soul Stealer, who's probably going to take a big old knockoff. Let's see, it's a knockoff. And it is not enough to pick up the KO. Unfortunate. Buzz does knock off the leftovers. I'm not entirely sure what this Protect was for. Just to scout another knockoff, I guess? He doesn't have leftovers anymore, so he's not getting any healing. But he does get the Heavy Slam off, so he is faster. And it does a big old chunk of damage. And then this knockoff is going to come out and is enough to pick up the KO on Soul Stealer, the Bamboo Shoot Steel monster. And Bray Doom makes an appearance. He uses Spore to get that good old sleep off. That's pretty much the only sleep-inducing attack that people use, because Sleep Powder and Hypnosis and all those other moves just aren't accurate enough. Spore is the most reliable one. And he goes for Mach Punch, which does a big old chunk of damage. Ooh, one turn sleep, and hits him with a big old Poison Jab. And I believe, oh yeah, that is more than enough to pick up the KO on the fragile little Breloom. So Meltilda's striking back with some vengeance. And Nas comes back, looking pretty healthy. But Heat Wave will be enough to take out that Meltilda, because it only had 17 health. So its special defense won't really help it there. And Nas heals back up with his lefties. So we've only got one left on the side of the Volcaronas. And it's Billows. And he gets that Intimidate drop, which really doesn't matter, because Nas is a special attacker. But that's not going to stop him. He goes for that Stab Earthquake. And does good damage. It's enough for a 2-hit KO if he can survive this Photon Geyser. Necrozma's special move, which doesn't pick up the KO, so most unfortunate for Necrozma. He is now in very much danger of being killed. So what does he do? Billows uses Earthquake. This should be enough to pick up the KO. And it is. Necrozma is down. Now it's 1-1. But our boy Billows is not looking great. His health is in the low yellow, which is not an ideal place to be. And out comes Reaper. Which this is not an ideal situation for a very slow Pokemon like the Alolan Marowak, who is just about to die to an Earthquake. Super effective stab damage is more than enough to kill the Reaper. So, what wasn't looking like the best situation for the Volcaronas, because he kept getting OKO'd, I think 3 of his Pokemon got OKO'd, turns it around thanks to the Landorus. So, that was a bit of an interesting one. Lots of just straight up power plays that just knock people out right away. So, good match. They go on to face other people this week. We'll see how those go in the following week. So yeah, toodles.